Come, gather round, everyone. They're about to talk Disney. I am still so confused as to whether I'm going to eat at Connections or Creations. So the only way I can keep them straight is I have to think, okay, well, my mouth connects to my stomach, so I guess that's Connections.
So I call Catherine to see how dinner at the restaurant is going, and she says, I can't talk to you right now. I'm talking to Mickey. So I'm like, okay, here's the big cheese. I get it. And then she says, hold on, he wants to talk to you. So she FaceTimes me, and I'm FaceTiming with Mickey as I'm getting ready for the podcast.
I don't understand why people spend hard-earned money on a Mickey ice cream sandwich in the parks. I mean, we literally all have ice cream sandwiches in our freezers at home. We don't have Mickey bars. From the mind and creator of the Disney YouTube channel Living in Diz comes a whole new...
You are now listening to a member of the Disney Podcast family. Head over to Disney Podcast Family on Instagram to see all the latest posts for this show and links to other great Disney podcasts.
I didn't click it at all. But anyway, we're here. Welcome everyone to Hollywood Studios. I am Corey, your host for this live stream tonight. And we are going to start this stream off by walking down Hollywood Boulevard. And we are going to hit the final show of the night for Lights, Motor, Action. It's going to be crazy. And just to see, you know, the jet skis and the guys falling, you know, all the stunts and the jumping of the cars, it's going to be amazing. Excited to live stream this once again for all of you, as we do every time we visit Hollywood Studios. And then we're going to hit the final backlot tour. You know, we get to go through the queue and see all the Bucketeer and just some classic Disney movies, Roger Rabbit, all that great stuff, as long as people don't move me in line too quickly, because that is the problem with that queue. It's like when you are in that queue, sometimes the line moves too fast and you can't look and appreciate all of the wonderful movie memorabilia. So we'll try to do that, go a little slower for you. Maybe we'll let some people pass by us, and then we will board the final train. Maybe in the evening, we'll see, and do the backlot tour. And we will end the night, before we go see Fantasmic, we are going to go end the night at the Great Movie Ride, because everyone loves that. Lawrence, can I get a poll in the chat? And we want to know if we want to see tonight, which ride are we going to get in the Great Movie Ride? Are we going to get the burning Western scene, or are we going to get like the mobsters and all that stuff, you know, or, you know, we'll see, but stick with us. And we're going to do all that tonight, everyone, here at Hollywood Studios. I just gave Lawrence a surprise intro. He had zero idea. We love surprising each other on this thing. And you know what? I wanted to take y'all back in time, because if I was live streaming 20 years ago or whatever it was, that would be how I would open up the stream. As the intro was playing, I literally thought of this. Professional. No. So, you know, that was pretty cool. I hope y'all enjoyed that. They were probably like, huh? What? But I could just picture myself walking down Hollywood Boulevard, and I was just trying to think of things that, you know, that would be in the past. Can you imagine? Can you imagine, you know, back then, live streaming decades ago? Yeah. You know? All right, we're going to go, well, you know, all right, everybody, you know, brace yourself, get ready. We will experience lag here at 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, but, you know, we're going to do the best we can.
They didn't have Wi-Fi on those ships, I don't think.
No. So how cool would that be back then? Man, to live stream like that, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe we can get somebody out there who's very tech savvy, and we can do some special effects on some green screen, whatever, and we can like do a whole live stream of retro rides and stuff like that. Did I just come up with an amazing idea? Are we once again way ahead of our time? with technology.
Could you imagine having been there live streaming the last
Walt's speech?
Well, yeah, go even further back. Yeah, absolutely.
To all those,
oh my
welcome. Disneyland is your land.
Oh man. But like the night that Great Movie Ride closed, or you know, I'm trying to think of some of the other, because you were at Toy Story the day Toy Story opened, right? Wasn't that the first day of the
Yeah, listen, you know, I don't really think about it until I think about it. The subject comes up. But we're starting to get a little bit of a resume here, you know, being residents or annual pass holders for, it's got to be in the neighborhood of 7 years now. It is. And we've been to the opening of anything since then. So we have day one merch of when Pandora opened. Always remember that day.
I didn't even think of that one.
As a matter of fact, I have to check with the family. One of two things happened. I don't think we got to ride both rides. It was just too busy. I want to say we did Navi River Journey maybe, and just couldn't get on Flight of Passage. But I'll double check that because I'm curious. So we were there for that. We were there for the opening of Toy Story. And of course, we've said this before. Day one of Toy Story Land existing is day one of our channel.
Yeah.
We started our channel on that day. We started vlogging. And that's what it's all about, going to Toy Story Land for the first time. So there's something else. What am I missing? What else is open since then? You know, we did miss, this is a smaller thing because it's one ride, but we did miss day one opening of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. But I want to say we were there day two.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm missing something though. Is anything open?
We mentioned Galaxy's Edge?
Oh yeah, I was there. I was there day one, Galaxy's Edge. I do kick myself for not fighting for Jacob to come a little bit more. I think Tammy really didn't want him to because of school. But you know, the kid's a straight A student, or he's on a roll all the time. So one day isn't going to kill him. But and he still remembers that. He feels badly that he didn't get to go. That would have been a great moment for a father and son to go through. And so I guess I regret that part too. But yes, went there. It's on the channel. It was not a live stream. It was a vlog. And here's a trivia question. We'll give everybody like a minute to answer it. Who did I ride my very first ride on Smuggler's Run with? I mean, if somebody gets this, we're going to get you something. We're going to get you something because that's going back. That's going back. You know, and Gilnack says in chat that on our first visit to MK, my 6-year-old son, my sister, and I waited an hour for 20,000 leagues. And as we were about to board, my son said that he needed the bathroom. Had to go back and wait again. Oh, no. That's terrible. You know, we waited for Kong when Kong was being built on Skull Island in Islands of Adventure. And they did warn us, but they said it was in testing, soft runs, soft openings. And they said we could shut the line down at any time. So I think Islands may have closed back then about 10. We got in line because it was still running. We probably got in line at 9:30 or whatever, 9:20. And we were almost there. And everything just shut off. Animatronics and everything. They said, okay, we're done for the night. You got to go.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think we waited a good close to an hour, 45 minutes, and we were told, yeah, we're done. I mean, if you're doing that, you really should cut the line off at some point and let everybody go through it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they do now with Hagrid's.
Yeah. Corey, I went to Hollywood Studios when I was 11 years old, says Shannon. Every single time. Let's wait for it to come up. every single time I was ever in Magic Kingdom, 20,000 Leagues was closed for refurbishment. That didn't exist when I went to Disney for the first time. Hello, everyone in chat. I see you saying hello. Welcome to the pod, the DIZ Pod. We do the DIZ Pod live because we do it for you. And welcome to episode number 48.
Hey,
He didn't say anything. It could be.
What?
I don't know if it's episode 48. I said, welcome to episode 48, and I looked right at you.
Oh, sorry. No, I was looking at chat. I want to apologize. They're not there anymore, but hello there. I apologize for being late. We just had some extra stuff that we had to load into the show because this is a pretty big show and there's a lot of extra pieces to that. So I apologize for that. Just wanted to clear that up. But
Jen says she regrets waiting so long to go to Disney. I never got to experience a lot of stuff that you all talk about. Me too, Jen. Me too. And Lawrence too. I was a late bloomer. And I do wish that too. You know, I don't use the word jealous loosely. I don't like to use the word jealous. I don't like to be jealous of anything. But probably a little jealous of that I wasn't able to do that. I mean, when I was younger, we just couldn't afford to go anywhere. So we didn't go anywhere. So it had to take me to become an adult and be able to pay my own way. But even when I was able to, I think, top of my head, just a few years. It might have taken me 5 years to finally get to Disney. I mean, we talked about it for a moment for our honeymoon, but we were like, well, that'll probably be so hectic and busy. We'll probably feel like, you know, we didn't take a real honeymoon.
Yeah.
But knowing Disney like I do now, we absolutely would have done it. So we were late bloomers with that too. I'll talk about, so today was the entire show is all about celebrating 35 years of Hollywood magic at Hollywood Studios, hence my surprise opening to every single person in the world. And today was is the actual day of the 35th anniversary, May the 1st, 35 years ago. And we sent Tammy out there to go get the merch. I have merch beside me. I'm going to show you all now what she got. The poor girl, she was going to do her first solo vlog ever. And she was all ready. She did an intro. I still want to see the intro. She did the intro, and she set out to show the merch and show the live show. And her group got called, and she went in about 10:20 to do the merch and do the video. It was so busy in there and she didn't have any help from any of us, that she could not really show and take photos and video of the merchandise. So I think she was pretty frustrated and heartbroken. And so the time that she had to go in when she got called didn't allow her to show up early for the 35th anniversary show that a lot of you probably saw live streamed, and they wouldn't let her in. They said it was filled to capacity, and she was there about 15 minutes before it started. So she put up a good fight about it, tried to get herself in, and wasn't able to. So it is what it is. If it's filled to capacity, it's filled to capacity. Now, what's the solution? Because, you know, whenever we talk about something or complain about something, you know, people say you should always have a solution. It's an easy solution. So this is the 35th anniversary. You've got a wonderful show planned. Why are we not running this show at least 3 times throughout the day? If you still want to make sure you're showing Beauty and the Beast, then we just work it back and forth. You know, you do the 35th show, 2 Beauty and the Beast, 35th show, 2 Beauty and the Beasts, end off with like the 35th show, and everybody will get to see it. What does everybody else doing that day? You know, where else you got to be?
Yeah.
Be there, do the show, and then you don't have people that are frustrated. I was on the phone with Tammy, and I heard a guy that was very nasty to a cast member while she was sitting there. You know, he was like, I want your job. I'm taking your picture. You're not going to have a job when this is over. And he was pretty nasty.
Wow.
You know, so after he walked away, Tammy said to the cast member sarcastically, she said, you should have let him in. And they just kind of laughed. So, you know, you could take away that frustration. You know, why are we just doing one show? There's no reason for it at all. So that would be a good solution for Disney if you're ever to do something like that again. Just do more than one show. Even a second show would have been satisfactory, I'm sure.
Yeah.
For people. So that would have been good. So here's some of the merch that she got. This is not necessarily merch, but it's the special brochure. This is the complaint that she had about this. So when you walked in, it was free grabs for everyone. People were just grabbing stacks.
Yeah.
And you know they're just going to sell them online, which is sad. So when Tammy's exiting the park, cast members now have a hold of them, and they're only allowing one at a time. She's like, why did they do that? Why weren't they doing one at a time to start with? You know, one per person, instead of letting it be a free-for-all. You know what I mean? That kind of doesn't make sense. I feel like I've been to a special event before where they've handed them out.
The Epcot 40th.
Yeah.
We got them on the way out.
Yeah.
So, which actually meant that you weren't carrying it around. Now, this is a little different because it's actually the map. So maybe that's why it feels a little bit different. But I don't know. I think handing it out at the end would have made sense, but it also wouldn't have made sense.
This is what it does. So it's a normal map, but when you open it up completely, it looks like this. You know, so in one corner you've got the Falcon, you've got Buzz, you've got the Tower of Terror, and you got Mickey Shorts with the 35th logo in the middle. So it's pretty. I don't know. This might be something I might flatten out and put in a frame. We'll see.
Hey, if you want one of those, you can find them on eBay for $9.
$9. Get them while they're hot.
That's the average price right now, $9.
So here are the pins. I think these were the only 2 pins that were being sold. And it's Mickey on there as a director with his director's hat. And the 35 font is in film. And then this one here, these are Jacob's. Jacob likes pens.
Oh, okay.
And this is the Mickey, Sorcerer Mickey right there. So those are good. These were $17.99. No, you know what's funny? One's $19.99 and one's $17.99. Oh, you know what probably justifies that? Because it's one pin on top of another on that other one.
Oh, okay.
I fell in love with this shirt. This was something that wasn't even showing on online for merch. Ready for this? Look at that. Nice light blue. The Mickey 35, and this is pass holder only. It's about time we do a pass holder shirt that's better than the normal shirts.
Yeah.
See that?
I agree.
That's why I don't own many shirts, pass holder shirts, because in my opinion, they're always better when they're non-pass holder ones. You always try to think of things, right? Like, why? Are they trying to kind of do something like out there a little bit different and think that's more special than, I don't know. Like, they've got to look at things and be like, this is the best, and this is what we're giving to normal guests. I don't know. It's so different. And a lot of times the kids are better than the adults too, which I say a lot. Tammy says there wasn't a T-shirt for those who aren't pass holders. There was not an adult T-shirt if you were not a pass holder. The only one was like that kind of quarter sleeve baseball looking one.
Yeah, I saw the Ringo one, but there was a dark blue one.
Only kids. It was only kids.
Oh, that was
the dark blue was only kids. Yeah. Do you think that shirt will be available on Saturday still? I'm guessing no, Jen, because that's why we sent Tammy today to go get stuff. But I hope it is for you. That's a great shirt. I love it. I mean, I'm thinking about wearing it on Saturday, but I guess I will. I mean, you'd like to wear your Star Wars stuff though for May the 4th, so I might just have to hold out on wearing it. And Tammy did get the Loungefly, so there's the Loungefly. Really,
I did like that one. I like the color, the gold with the deep blue.
Yes, very well done with the deep blue and the gold, right?
Yeah.
The pattern just continues on the back, and this was only $78. So not bad for a Loungefly. We figured, why so cheap? They probably want to make sure they move them. There's probably plenty.
There were a
to
lot of
sell.
them, what I saw.
So here it is. Tammy, when I brought this in, says, I haven't even looked on the inside yet. And you all know in the parks I love to look. My batting average has got to be 450 on this, easily, if not 560.
That tells you how much she wanted out of that store at that point, trying to get
I know,
to the
right? So what do you think? What do you think's inside?
What
does everybody think inside?
I don't know. It's got all the icons on the outside and Mickey. Maybe the 35 emblem and stars.
Okay. We're going to continue with, I like the 35. You didn't steal it from me. I didn't think of it. So I believe you. I think that's going to be part of it. I was going to say we'll continue with the characters in a light blue pattern, and maybe the characters are in like a lighter blue.
Okay.
All right, let's reveal.
You got some 35s there. Jen says 35.
Oh, wow. Huh. Isn't that interesting? Okay.
Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, right? It's Walt. Look at this. They went Mickey only.
Mickey only. Okay. All right.
I don't agree with it. I wouldn't have designed it that way. That's odd.
Yeah.
Just Mickey. It's very odd. And it's not even like character. It's not even like Mickey Short's character Mickey, right? Or is it? I can't see it well.
It kind of is. I think it's close to that version.
So there we go. It's your standard Loungefly too. I say standard because, when you get that size pocket in the front and you get the two sides there, the zipper's gold. So, yeah, that's all the merch. And I think that was all the merch that was sold. So we talked about the other stuff, the dark blue shirt that was only for kids, and the quarter sleeve that was non-pass holder. Other than that, that was it. Oh, wait a minute. I've got the hat. I'm wearing the hat. Look at this hat. So I really like the hat. So had to get the hat for sure. And I'll be getting the hat on May the 4th. So I like hats. I got to cover the dome, so I have to buy hats. Aaron texted me and said that he just bought a map on eBay because he couldn't get there today. Well, how about that? Wow.
Oh, I see that he just put that in.
Yeah.
Chat. Do you see that comment there?
Did you show the pins? They had 2 pins. Yes, I did.
Yep.
So the pins are right here, and then we'll kick off. We'll get more into the show. Starting with what Lawrence had planned. So they're the 2 pins. We did get them.
So Catherine says you could wear that shirt, and maybe you'll have a new Star Wars shirt that day.
Say it again.
You could wear that shirt, and maybe you'll have a new Star Wars shirt that day.
Oh. Okay. Susie Q can't wait to see all the Star Wars merch. I know. They're hitting us with merch twice in 1 week.
Yeah.
That hits the pocketbook,
Yeah. Especially when it's one park, back to back like that.
Yeah. So we will point that out on May the 4th. We will look for the 35th merch and show you all if it's still remaining.
35 years ago, they should have planned for this and not put them in the same week. They didn't know they were buying Star Wars 35 years ago.
Exactly, right? There was no way
no.
to really gauge that one.
So, so we've got a lot of stuff planned for the celebration of the 35th anniversary of Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios is Tammy's favorite park.
And Jacob.
Okay. And
now, I always have to qualify my love for parks is by 0.1. Magic Hollywood Epcot, 0.1.
There, I
or
read
1A, 1B, 1C. Sorry, 1A, 1B, 1C.
I like that one. There were people today that I was reading were saying all this hoopla over a half-day park. And I'm like, Hollywood Studios is a half-day park? No way. There is no way Hollywood Studios is a half-day park. Not to me.
People are saying currently Hollywood is a half-day park?
Yes.
Well, if you go early, and you don't have Lightning Lane or anything, I think you could, on a good day, you could probably be out of there by 3/4 of the day. Like if you rope dropped at 8 for special hours in the morning, you could probably be out of there by 3 having done everything. But you really have to boogie, so I still wouldn't quantify that or qualify it as a half park day. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't see it. I'm trying to remember what day it was, what event we went that Catherine and I met you. It was when you stayed with us at Yacht Club. We were in Hollywood for something that day, and we only streamed until about 3:00 or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but no, for us, it's not a half day park at all. In fact, we'll show you that on Saturday when we are there for 15 hours.
Yes, 15 hours, y'all. Can you imagine? I mean, we're gonna start around 8:30. Phantasmic. It just warms my heart to know that Phantasmic kicks off at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Get your espressos ready, everybody. 10:30.
Telling you, stack up on the Starbucks gift cards now because we're gonna need them.
Yes. Yeah, we'll be having some Starbucks that day.
Yeah.
Sure. Jen W is excited. She's going to be hanging with us. Now, Aaron would argue no park is a half day. Now, CB Disney fan did say that Animal Kingdom is. You can argue that one too. You can argue that one too.
You could do it in a half a day, but you're not seeing everything in a half a day. There's too much. How many of you knew that there were kangaroos in that park before Corey showed them a couple weeks ago? I didn't. I
never saw the kangaroos. I heard about them many times. And even when we asked, we had a hard time finding them.
Yeah. Or conservation station back there at Rafiki's Planet Watch and the petting zoo. There's a lot to do at Animal Kingdom. So yeah.
Gorilla Falls, Gorilla Falls. There's another area. Is it the African Trek or something? There's way more things. So yeah, there's a lot to do. But when we live stream or go to Animal, like we're going to Animal next Saturdays. So we already know when we do that, that's a Disney Springs night as well.
Right.
So we'll do Disney Springs. We're going to meet up with Pamela V, I think, later in the evening. So I don't think we're going to close out Disney Springs. It might be more of a 10:30 kind of end to the night or something like that. But we'll probably be at Animal. We've been starting earlier lately, so who knows? Maybe we'll start Animal around like 1 or 2. I never did the Gorilla Falls until this trip, and I loved it, says Grandma Grover. We always had a family joke about the first vlog we did about Gorilla Falls. I would always try to speak to text the vlog title, and then I'd fix it if I had to. But it came out as Gorilla Balls. Jill thought that was funny. We always go, time to go to Gorilla Falls. So, hey, Andy. Andy's watching on his 50-inch. We love that. So,
all right.
What do you have going for us here?
Well, I was going to say we're going to start the main portion of the main topic. So we're going to kick it off this way. We're going to talk about MGM Studios.
Yes.
What year did all of you go to MGM Studios? I know that I went in 1990, so the park wasn't even a year old when I first went. Well, it was right at a year old because I went in June. So it was a year old when I went. And, everything was brand new. It was very different from the other two parks that we had, right? Magic Kingdom, you had the castle, you had princesses, you had characters, you had dark rides, you had shows, you had Epcot at that point with Future World and World Showcase. And then here comes Disney MGM Studios, and it has one ride. Great Movie Ride. That was it. That was the only ride. The only ride in the whole park.
Seriously?
Not the only attraction, but the only ride was a Great Movie Ride. It was very, very interesting. We have some 89s, people that went in 89. Roxanne went in 90. And AJC went in 89 as a cast member.
How about that, huh?
Very, very cool. So, yeah, we have quite a few things. Yeah, Tower of Terror. A lot of people don't know Tower of Terror did not open. Nanny Pooh Bear says, when did Tower of Terror come? It did not open with the park. And in fact, you'll see, I'll have a map coming up. The park looked really, really different back then for sure. But I enjoyed it. The Great Movie Ride, and you had the backlot tour, and the backlot tour was long. I went on the first version, which was they really should have called it the standing tour, because you stood every time you went somewhere, you were just standing. Like there were never any seats in every time you stopped to look at something backstage. Other than the tram, you weren't sitting anywhere. So it was kind of interesting. But I enjoyed it. I enjoy that kind of back behind the scenes tour type of experience.
Is that the attraction that I went to back then? That I remember doing a little walking, and I don't know if they grabbed volunteers, but I'm remembering something where wasn't there like a submarine scene or something, and water's going everywhere, and people kind of had to act out their scene. Was that part of the backlot tour?
Somebody will have to answer that in chat. I don't remember. I do remember the Golden Girls house. CB Disney fan says the Golden Girls house was back there. Yeah. I believe, I forget the name of the ship, but from Flight of the Navigator, that was back there. And then there were also non-Disney things back there, because technically Golden Girls was Disney because it was Touchstone. They owned Touchstone. But there were quite a few non-Disney things back there, which is why the park was Disney MGM, and you had stuff like the Great Movie Ride that had other scenes that were not Disney, like the Wizard of Oz. Yeah.
And was it the second version or the first version, or was it both here where Roxanne saw people sewing? The costume department working.
I feel like it was probably both. I think it was probably both.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah.
Grandma Grover sounds like backlot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Osborne Lights I never got to see.
I did. We got to see him, I think, twice. Just magical. To see that many lights around you on a city street.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the feeling of that happening. I wish we could stream that.
Mm-hmm.
I should have put that in my intro. We're going to check out the Osborne Lights. There were debates about the Osborne Lights because people were speculating, well, where do you think they'll go now? And who knows if they're anywhere. But one suggestion was, well, maybe they'll do the whole World Showcase that way, but it would not even be close to the same thing.
No. So it wasn't known at the time that they were going to give kids the world. When they went away, they just went away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think maybe that would have softened the blow a little bit had they, said, "Well, they're going to give kids the world." Um, but I don't know. Um, oh, sorry, Car. I'm getting something in my ear. Getting
Oh no!
a notification here.
All right, pay attention to it.
That we have Steve out at Hollywood Studios now, talking about what's going on over at Disney MGM Studios. Steve.
It's wonderful here. This is like the biggest party probably ever. Wonderful here. This is like the biggest party probably ever staged outside of Hollywood about Hollywood. It's the grand opening weekend of the all-new Disney MGM Studios. There are thousands and thousands of journalists here, all of them enjoying themselves with libations and having a good time in this incredible sneak preview of what's ahead for the general public. Now, this studio tour will be open in Theme Park this Monday. And let me tell you, there's some incredible things to see here. You're going to be able to see wonderful things like water rides that you're actually inside the water. It's even more dangerous than Jacques Cousteau facing white sharks. There's ways to get involved in television, a Chinese theater that recreates the Hollywood legends. It's an amazing place with a lot of fun for everybody. And, of course, part of the idea is to allow some of us who, work in television to actually see what's up front ahead. Ernie's with me. Ernie, come on over here. What have you seen so far, and what do you think?
I think it's fabulous. You all got to see it. It's a great place, and it's just fantastic. That's all I can say. Everybody's got to come down and take a look at it.
Now, of course, they're giving a lot of us free food and libations to say things like this. But I can tell you, because, I can't be bought for those kinds of things. I can tell you right from the heart, this is really amazing. So grab your friends and your family and be ready to head for one of the most incredible studio tours and events you're ever going to see, the MGM Studio, along with Walt Disney. It's like Walt Disney recreating the idea and legend of Hollywood itself. It's really a lot of fun.
So we might check in with somebody else during the show here. So we're very excited about the opening of Disney MGM Studios. To give you an idea of what it's going to look like. So this is what the park is going to look like when it opens. And you can see here, you have the Chinese theater in the middle. You have Hollywood Studio. Hollywood Boulevard, as we all walk down that. There to the back of the Chinese theater, production center, and the backlot studio tour off to the right. And then you have the backlot behind there.
But wait, where's Sunset Boulevard?
I don't see a Sunset Boulevard. What are you referring to?
Oh, wow. So, I just had an idea, they might want to add some streets at some point.
Oh.
But it looks great,
Oh, okay.
That's what I would call it. That's what I would call it.
So what ride are you going to first here?
Well, I'm going to go straight up Hollywood Boulevard and go to the one and only ride, a great movie ride, right there, right? Oh, no. Is the backlot tour open yet?
So the backlot tour, that is open. So that attraction is open. You can see the entrance to it there on the right-hand side in the purple.
Got it.
But it's so funny to look at this because this was the park. This is the park that we all know and love, with no Galaxy's Edge, no Toy Story Land, no Star Tours, no Rock and Roller Coaster, no Starbucks. That was the park in its original outline. So pretty interesting. I guess at that point, maybe it probably felt like a half-day park. Maybe. Especially for those ride enthusiasts. I mean, what were you doing? Going there for one ride? Because again, the original version of the backlot tour, there's a lot of walking. Not very exciting until you get back to Catastrophe Canyon, where everybody loved. But it was
the big build-up
layout for sure. So one of the other things that a lot of people talk about with Hollywood Studios is that there was a hidden Mickey. It is no longer there. So chat, Do you know where the hidden Mickey was? And I'm not talking about Earful Tower, because that was not very hidden. That was clearly out where you could see it. So that does not qualify as a hidden Mickey. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
I think I know where it is, but I'm not going to say, of course. So yeah, I definitely went a little later in life because I think that there were many more additions by the time I got there. I mean, Galaxy's Edge wasn't there. Toy Story Land was not there. I feel like Sunset Boulevard was there though.
Yeah, I would say by the time you got there, Sunset would have been there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Susie Q says it was the center of the park. Gan was said it was the hub, and it was the hub.
There you go.
The lake on the right-hand side makes his ear. The roof of the building on the left-hand side makes his other ear. And then you can clearly see his smile and eyes with the trees.
Yeah, look at that. They went all out. It wasn't just like 3 circles. It was eyes and everything.
Yeah. I was pretty clear there. So,
do you know when Indiana Jones started? That's what CB Disney fan wants to know.
I want to say it was probably one of the first changes, I want to say.
Okay.
I have to bring
AJC Magic TV says that Sunset Boulevard was added in 1993 to 1994.
I was going to say that. Yep. I was going to say it was early 90s. It wasn't far behind. And in fact, let's talk about the first change to the park.
The Muppets have arrived at the Disney MGM Studios theme park. Meet Kermit, Fozzie Bear, Miss Piggy, and all your Muppet favorites as they come to permanently leave their mark in this spectacular world of glitz and glamour.
Hey, everybody, it's time to do the show.
Sorry, what? Here come the Muppets, only at the Disney MGM Studios theme park. MGM Studios theme park.
So that was not Muppet Vision 3D. That was Here Come the Muppets, which was a stage show. So Muppet Vision 3D was not even there yet, and that was in 1990 when the Muppets showed up.
How crazy is that? I'm just learning that now. I didn't know there was a stage show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't remember that one, but there's so many things that were different about that park. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were there. Yeah. Now could you even imagine something non-Disney being in that park? It's Disney Hollywood Studios now, but back then it was all about movies and TV, so they were able to get a lot of other licensing added to the park. So it was kind of interesting back then. The show opened in August. Thank you. So it wasn't. Was that 3 months, 4 months? 3 months. So Neil said he's hanging out with Tracy R and Mom.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. So the next map that I want to bring up shows some of the first changes. And it's going to be a little harder to see on screen because now this map is much bigger. And so now you see the big entrance there as you come in towards the kind of top of the map. And then as you make that right, there you have Sunset Boulevard. And you can go all the way down and you see Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, and you even have the amphitheater back there for Fantasmic. And I think this park adding a nighttime show was really good. Now it did have the one at the Chinese theater, but I think adding Fantasmic was huge. And think about how long that show has been running now. It's been a very, very long time now. And they just continue to get better and better. So it's it's my favorite nighttime show. I love the feeling of Luminous, but as far as everything that comes with Phantasmic, to me that's the stage show. In this map, though, you can actually see right in the middle of the map the what was a point of contention sometimes, the Sorcerer's Hat. Some people didn't like it. People love it. Some people, that was the time that they knew of Hollywood Studios or MGM Studios. So it was what they knew. So it was what they loved. So having it taken away, they were upset. Whereas those of us that knew it before that were like, I can't see the Chinese theater. Where did the Chinese theater go? So,
yeah. Jill cried when the last time she knew she would see the hat. She cried.
Wow. And so speaking of 2000s, let's take a quick commercial break here, and we'll be back in 30.
At the Disney MGM Studios, your day can take any direction.
Let's take it from the top! That was hot! Now give me all you got!
The Disney MGM Studios, where showbiz is. Where showbiz is.
So it's funny because that commercial to me is all Sunset Boulevard, because they showed Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, and Phantasmic. So
yeah, good catch.
It was probably like right after that expansion where they were pushing that section of the park, because really, I mean, that's a huge thrill ride, section. You got Tower of Terror and you got Rock and Roller Coaster, which were two of the biggest thrill rides in, all four parks or three parks at that point. So they were certainly pushing that. So it was kind of interesting. I also, if you look when the kids, when he falls, the kids' ears, the Mickey ears flop over, I get Oswald vibes from that. I don't know if they did that on purpose or not, but
yeah,
I got Oswald vibes. So,
little ode to Oswald.
That's what I'm thinking. They always do everything on purpose, right? So I could have.
Oh yeah, I always give them credit for everything. Nothing is by accident.
Right. Oh, Susie Q says she noticed the Oswald ears too. Yeah, I think that's what it was. So, of the rides that are gone from there, the only one. The one you miss, obviously, we know is the Great Movie Ride. But were there others that are gone now? I mean, well, you did the backlot tour.
Lights Motor Action's gone.
Okay, Lights Motor Action. Okay. What about the streets? Which were, I guess, at that point when you went, they were probably called the Streets of America.
Yes. Are you talking about like the cast members that would do some shows on the street?
Oh, well, that too. Yeah. And people were saying today that they were kind of hoping that for the anniversary that they might have them come and greet you when they come in. And I was like, well, that would have been pretty cool, but didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, these little touches, that would have been awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Still say if they really want to surprise us, you could have the March of the First Order on Saturday. But
Hey, before we end this thing, we can talk about how we can make May the 4th even better than it is.
Oh, good. That'll be a preview for next week. I like it. So yeah, now with that Sunset Boulevard extension, now there's also Beauty and the Beast show, because that was not there in the very beginning. So very interesting to have seen the evolution of this park and to see what it is now. I certainly miss the backlot tour, and really the only place that you could really do anything like that is Universal Hollywood, because Universal Studios doesn't have that here on this coast. So that's really the only place you can do anything like that. So.
How cool and nostalgic would that be if Disney figured out a way with space over there to bring back Backlot Tour 2.0?
And how they create some of the magic now. And,
new magic.
Yeah. Some of the stuff that you see in movies now, I mean, back then we would have seen green screen or chroma key as they called it, and how they created some of the sounds, right? So you would have seen all of that, but now you're going to see all the CGI and how motion capture is done and all that kind of stuff. That would be pretty cool.
Right? That would be really neat.
Yeah.
I just saw the other day on social media how they do projections on the castle and the buildings.
Oh.
Yep. They have a simulator. They have a simulator on computer, and they map out and paint on the projections in the computer, and then it allows them to bring it to the parks, and everything fit perfectly. There's more to it than that, but pretty cool.
Have you, and in chat too, have you seen Epcot Becoming on Nat Geo yet?
I have not. Have you?
I have. And I understand now why Luminous was such an issue last week. Because think about what this show is supposed to be, right? Epcot Becoming is really about the evolution, the current evolution of Epcot and what it's changing to. And so, of course, Luminous plays a big part in that. And so I think that's what the issue was last week with being able to stream Luminous. But you're going to need to watch that. That is really, really good.
Okay, yeah, I got to watch that.
Yeah, really good. And the other show that started was how Disney Built America on the History Channel. Definitely check that out. That is just starting, and it's going to be an entire series. I watched episode 1 last night. Really, really good.
Which one?
How Disney Built America.
Oh, okay.
It's on the History Channel. The History Channel does a bunch of those. Like they do the toys that built America, foods that built America, engineers that built America, all of that, or engineering that built America. So all those series I love and I watch them. But when I heard they were doing a Disney one, and I thought it was just going to be one episode, it's an entire series. I was on board for that for sure. So, yeah. So finally, to wrap up our talk about Hollywood Studios and Disney MGM Studios and what has now evolved into Hollywood Studios, we'll run a final ad for you here. So while we all
right there
miss MGM and the Great Movie Ride and Osborne Lights and the Backlot Tour and Lights Motor Action, without them going away, we couldn't have Galaxy's Edge, Toy Story Land, and what we have now. So, Walt talked about the parks are alive and they're always going to be changing and evolving. And so I think that we have to be happy for what we had while still missing what we lost.
Same. There's some really, it's good to compare and contrast, right? It's like, look what you had before and look what you have now. It's better in a lot of ways, and it's mind blowing what we have now. To have a Galaxy's Edge and feel like you can fly a ship, and being this whole adventure that is Rise of the Resistance, shrink down to the size of a toy and be able to play in Toy Story Land. These things are really great things.
Yeah.
Change is good. And I did a podcast over a year ago on how we have to embrace the change. We're traditionalists. We hate to see things go, but we couldn't experience more things without change.
Right.
So running it back to who did I ride Smuggler's Run with on opening day at Hollywood Studios, I actually rode it with Josh and Jenna from Resort TV 1. You know him now as PC Dev, but Prince Charming Dev, who has a great channel too. And I also rode it with Corey from Corey Meets World. So that was our crew. Oh, and Pete McDevitt.
Wow.
Pete McDevitt, yeah, and his son.
Wow.
Yeah, so an all-star crew. It was good. It was fun. I think Jenna and I were stuck back in engineering. If you go back and look at the opening day vlog, I actually had a bad review of Smuggler's Run.
Really? Why?
I did. I felt like
first of all, you were in engineering, so that was
exactly, and that is why I was like, I don't know what this was. It's a little disappointing. I'm having to look at the wall and hit certain buttons to repair this ship, and I can't see what's going on up front as much. I'm missing things.
Right.
So I was like, I'm a little underwhelmed at this, but I do redeem the ride and myself later in the vlog because I did ride it a second time, and I got to fly it, and I was like, whoa, okay. Whoa! I just flew the Falcon. So I love it. It's a kid's dream come true. I tease my mom even to this day that we all have a toy that we never got when we were younger for Christmas, and I never got the large Falcon that you could fit your action figures in. And I say to my mom now, well, since you didn't get me the Millennium Falcon, I just turn around and fly it. Okay, I get to play in it now.
Yeah, it's I want to say the first time I was an engineer, I think.
So you were a little underwhelmed as well?
It was okay. I don't think it was like but see, you're a gamer. I'm not. So I think that also adds to it. Like you want more of the experience than I would have. So like you want to fly it. I'm okay being a gunner or an engineer. Although the first time I did fly it with you, that was the first time I flew. And I was nervous as anything. And
did I fly it with you?
Yeah.
Or did Jacob?
No, you flew it with me. Yeah, so I handled left and right, and you handled up and down because I can't do the inversion. So we did okay. We did okay. But I'm okay being a gunner or an engineer. So all good. If somebody else wants
Lawrence,
to fly,
gunner for sure. We need to fly Smuggler's Run with crew.
Oh man.
We need to fly it with crew.
So does crew then handle both left and right and up and down? I think he could do it.
Oh, he could. And like his toes would repair the ship at the same time. He could do it. My mom is chiming in. I love you, Mom. Thanks for watching. And she says, go ahead, Corey. Make me feel bad again. I'm not getting it. My mom is stubborn like that, you know. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. I did a live cooking stream from my mom, private stream on FaceTime the other day, cooking on the new griddle. That was good. Yeah. So, hey, is it time to start calling for Smuggler's Run to switch it up? Maybe it's time to start thinking about switching it up. They won't, but or anytime soon. But let's get a new adventure in there. I love variation. Like, couldn't we make it in a way that we could listen? I'm sure it's more difficult than this, but can't we get a game where we can just program the movements? Because it's more like a video game. So if you can program the movements through the controller, just give us a new screen with a new mission. I think we could do that. And I love variation, just like Soren. Soren should be, you never know what you're going to get this time, kind of thing. I'd love to switch that up.
I think you're on the right track there, because we talked about it with Star Tours. If you can do it with Star Tours, if you switched up Soren and you gave us Soren over California, that the Millennium Falcon's very, very similar. Why couldn't you do the same thing? Now we might be hitting on something that they're thinking about. I don't know if I was expecting. I guess maybe I was kind of gearing myself up for it during the 35th anniversary show today. I think she was the vice president. I forget her name, but the vice president of Hollywood Studios was on stage talking. And she was saying how, it's taken us 35 years to get here. Just think about what the next 35 years are going to be and beyond. And I thought they were kind of starting to gear up for some sort of announcement, but they didn't. But D23 is not far away. Maybe there is something, I want to say it was last D23 we got that we were getting new Star Tours adventures. I would love to hear Millennium Falcon with new adventures.
They just announced so many new things, huge news. It's almost like you can't blame them if they don't drop any big news this time because of everything we've gotten or ahead of time. But, if they're saving something, it should be a whopper of an announcement.
That's what I was going to say, because these little things they've announced so far are not little. So, and D23 is supposed to be your major announcement. So I'm telling you that's going to be big. It's going to be big.
Could Figment be changing?
I feel like maybe it's
a permit was filed.
I know, but I feel like maybe, well, then again, no. If I think about my own business, you file the permit and you're right behind it, you're starting the house, 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the city or the county. So you're right. Maybe that's what we're going to hear. Maybe. But I don't know that they're going to do that and Test Track at the same time, because Test Track's going to be down for a year. Is it a year?
Yeah, you can't. That's a good call. That's a good call. I think it's going to be down for a year. So that tells me that maybe that permit was just more of refurbishment of what we've already have.
Could be.
We already have.
Could be.
I hope Figment changes, says Sharon. This will be so unpopular. They could announce that they're going to put like a new Inside Out attraction in there or something else. And I wouldn't mind at all. Not a huge fan of the Figment ride.
When you said this is gonna be an unpopular opinion, I thought you were gonna say they should go backwards to the second version of Figment. I was just gonna end the stream and go home.
Yeah. Yeah. Figment is not my favorite. Tammy likes it, so we make sure we go on. I make sure we go on. It's not like I hate it. I go on it. I enjoy it when I'm on it. It's just not one of my favorites. It's far from one of my favorite attractions.
Mm-hmm.
Jen says Figment was a one and done for me. The original was the best, and I didn't get to do the original, so
Right.
that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we touch on all of that, all the good stuff there?
Yeah. I think we did. I think we did a pretty good job of talking about the history of MGM and how it's changed. Did you know there was a second MGM park?
No.
Yeah. So there's a whole big lawsuit in my reading, prepping for the show. There's a whole big lawsuit with Disney and MGM because they had given out the license to open another theme park with the MGM name on it. But they were able to open it, and the park did not last long.
Oh, wow. Disney stepped in, huh?
No, the park just didn't do well. So
okay.
it ended up closing. So now we had the only MGM park, and then it went away and became Disney Hollywood Studios.
Okay. I was going to move to This Week in the Parks, but I don't think there's really anything to talk about at all. Is there? Really?
No, we could not really. We could just talk about the week coming up, kind of.
Yeah, and should we talk about? Were you saving that for next week, like how we can make May the 4th better?
No. We can preview that now.
All right, let's hit up our sponsor quick.
Say that we were the ones that did it.
That's right. If it happens, we can be like, we said it.
Yeah.
We'll be back in 40 seconds, everybody.
Looking for a home that offers the perfect blend of luxury, comfort, and convenience with Disney World in your backyard? Victor Naraki is a licensed realtor with Vision Home Real Estate LLC. He is here to help you find the home of your dreams. With over 13 years of experience in the vacation home market and a proven track record of success, Victor is the perfect partner to guide you through every step of the home buying process. So why wait? Visit DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com today to learn more about Victor's exclusive range of properties and schedule a viewing with him today. Your dream home is just a click away. If you're
Florida.com, and you can email him at victor@celebratingflorida.com. So I've talked about this multiple times, and I like talking about it because I think it's simple. I think it's very simple. I think that, listen, I'm gonna jump that for a second. Why does Disneyland get so much more Star Wars? Like, they're getting the BD droids walking around.
I know the answer.
Do you?
I know the answer. It's not going to be fun on this coast, but I know the answer.
There's that, and we'll see this year. It looks like we got more snacks. So that could be good. But normally they get more snacks. They have a Star Wars night.
Yeah.
Makes no sense to me why we don't have a Star Wars night. Zero.
Yeah.
So Disney, if you're listening, we need a Star Wars night here. God, I would pay for that. I would pay for that. I don't pay for after hours. I don't think it's beneficial for a pass holder to do it. But certainly, if I'm invited or something like that, or invited to extra magic hours because you or someone else is staying, I'm happy to do it. But it's just not worth the money for a pass holder to really do that when you can ride the rides anytime. But a Star Wars one, I would go every time. I mean, not every if it changed, as they change, or I go now and then for sure.
Yeah.
Disney needs to do a Star Wars night here for sure. Now, how to make May the 4th better? It's really easy, and all you have to do is bring back a lot of old things. If you brought back March of the Resistance, that's what it's called, right? March of the Resistance. With Phasma, Captain Phasma, you bring the Stormtroopers up Hollywood Boulevard. Do that every time on May the 4th. That adds to the Star Wars magic. Bring the stage back out. I can't remember if it was called Galaxy of Stars or what it was called. But bring back the stage where you would. This was an opportunity for a Star Wars fan to see so many characters in one shot.
Right.
You know, you saw 3PO come up. You saw Boba Fett, Darth Maul, Vader, Chewie, Dark Troopers, all kinds of characters.
Mm-hmm.
Rey, BB-8, and March of the First Order. Thank you. And so you could do that. So we've got March of the First Order. We've got that show, which I can't remember the name of that one. And we were there for the final show, I think, too. We streamed the final show of that. Yes, they did Star Wars weekends. So make May the 4th feel like a Star Wars weekend in one day. Do a parade. I know Ashley Eckstein would love to be in a parade. You don't even have to throw that many Star Wars stars in there. Ashley would come every time.
Yeah.
We're buddies. I'll just text her and let her know. Ashley would come. I'm sure you could scrape up another person or two.
Mm-hmm.
It's Disney. You've got the money. Pay somebody. Pay a couple people to come. Sit in a car and wave to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, up the snack game, and I think they're doing that this year. We'll see how many snacks we find. I've been saying that. Bring back the nighttime show, the Star Wars show, on the Chinese theater.
Mm-hmm.
Loved that so much. So see, it's not hard to make that feel like a special day. You're bringing back things that you've done before. We brought back Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam.
Yep.
For Hollywood Nights. So I'm pretty sure we can bring back. We should bring the Star Wars show at night permanently anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ray. Listen, you know, Leo talks about Ray Park in Darth Maul, right? So May the 4th is coming up, right? I had the opportunity to take the family to Star Wars Celebration when it came to Orlando about maybe 7 years ago. And it really was one of the best days of my life because of the people we got to meet and have conversations personally. But Ray Park plays Darth Maul. I can't believe I did this as a Star Wars fan. I really can't. So we're hungry. The day's almost over. We're off to the side. We grab hot dogs or something, and we're sitting in a chair. They had like a whole cafeteria kind of makeshift setup at the convention center. And I'm looking over, and I'm like, oh, who's on stage? Oh, it's Ray Park who plays Darth Maul. He's like doing a lightsaber demonstration, and he's talking with the Star Wars show. Why wasn't I over there watching that? Instead, I was eating a hot dog. So I regret that a little bit, but I did see him from a distance. But you know, I don't know if I tell this part of the story much, but we went to a little after party after the Star Wars celebration on that Saturday, and not a lot of people went. I mean, it's not like they just invited us; they invited anybody that wanted to show up. But you actually had to leave the convention center and go to a specific hotel, and they had like a bar rented out or whatever in a whole area. So you know, Jacob sat with the creator of the actual BB-8 used in the movie, and he was just sitting down talking to people who had been working on Force Awakens and things like that. The producer of the Star Wars show came over to me after spending time with us, and he said, "Do you mind if I send you some gifts from Lucasfilm?" And I was like, no. He's like, "You're the most incredible family that we've ever met on the road, and you're so interesting." He said, "I would like to send you guys some boxes." I'm like, "Sure." So I gave him my address. He said, "When we get back to Hollywood, I'll send you some things." And they sent 2 huge boxes. It was like Christmas. We got action figures, like shirts, hoodies, remote control BB-8. They sent all kinds of awesome Star Wars stuff. I was blown away. It was so cool. I mean, and it literally said said Lucasfilm on the box. So that was pretty cool. That's part of what made it one of the best days of our lives. And Tammy says in chat, it was so cool to hear Anthony Daniels talk. She stood in awe. Tammy and I did too, but Tammy stood in awe just listening to Anthony Daniels talk. You know, when he starts to talk and you hear C-3PO come out of that mouth, you want to look inside the mouth and say, is there a little golden droid inside of you? or something. It's just amazing. Mark Hamill was there that day. He couldn't speak. He lost his voice. He had a sign up saying he couldn't speak.
Oh boy.
We saw the late great Peter Mayhew who played Chewbacca. Tammy didn't want to leave. He was the last one meeting people, and she didn't want to leave. And we just stood and kind of watched for a bit, just to see how tall he was and just watch him interact. These are people that, in my mind, as a child, you're not supposed to ever be in the same room as them.
Mm.
It's just not real. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're too fantasy. And boom, there they were in front of you. So good times over there talking about some Star Wars. So I think that's how you could make. Do you have any ideas? Not to put you on the spot, but it's fun to do as we go back and forth. Any other ideas on how to? Does anybody in chat or Lawrence have any ideas on how to make May the 4th better than what I suggested? Am I missing something? I know. Ewoks. You need to have Ewoks in the queue. Ewoks up in the trees. That's another thing. Oh, and bring back. I'm just forgetting names tonight. Bring back the Jedi School.
Okay,
fight Vader and Maul.
I did think about it, and I was like, I wonder if that would work. But if it's a weekend, I think that works. Because otherwise, if you're just doing that for one day, I don't think you fit enough people into that experience to make it worth it. But if you did it for a whole weekend, Star Wars weekend, the 3rd through the 5th, or something like that, and then I think it works. So yeah, bring back the Jedi School. There's quite a few little things that they could do.
Jen W says porgs everywhere. That would be funny. Jawas walking around Batu. Absolutely, Leo. Jawas used to walk around as well. Bring back the Jawas. Hashtag bring back the Jawas. Because the kids used to trade things with them. If you brought them scrap metal, they would give you something back.
Wow.
It was really fascinating for me to meet Jawas because, I mean, not like Disney does anything halfway. All the characters look like they should, right?
Sure.
But
yeah.
The Jawas, these little Jawas with these black faces and the yellow eyes. It was creepy yet really cool, and they didn't really talk.
Yeah.
Stormtroopers on the roof of the entrance of Hollywood Studios. Yes. I would sign off on that one too.
Can you imagine you're walking through the parking lot and you start to see the ticket booth there, and you see the stormtroopers up there on the top? That'd be crazy.
Have Jedi hiding from cops
immediately before you even get in the gate.
Yes. You know what? I don't even know if you just said this. I was trying to read some things too. Maybe I'm going to say what you said. But put stormtroopers with security.
Oh.
How about that? They don't have to interact or anything, but they can just stand by security.
Yeah.
So you're already beginning your experience right there.
I like it.
Maybe you put some stormtroopers in the parking lot with their 2-finger hand pointing. Move along. Move along. Trading pins with Jawas would be fun, says Jen W. I like Palm Bay Jags fan as well here that says have them put a Jedi versus Sith Lord battle in Indiana Jones Theater. What if they put on a show for that day down there? Just shut down Indy and do that whole thing. That would be pretty cool.
Or even the theater where Frozen is. They changed that to Nightmare Before Christmas before Jollywood Nights. Why not do it for Star Wars? Some sort of show there.
Yeah, and Tammy says, how about you bring back the Jawas? Yep, that's what we just talked about. Jawas could come back. Disney Daddy says, Corey, are you going to see Phantom Menace in the theater this weekend? Yes, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Friday night. I will be in the theater for some Phantom Menace. Here's my ode to Phantom Menace. You ready for Palpatine? Wipe them out. Overload them. Of course, you have Jar Jar too, right? Excuse me.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Excuse me.
What time are you seeing it?
7 p.m.
I will be in the air.
Ah. Yep, we'll go see it then. It'll be good. I believe, I know this for a fact, this is going to be Jacob's first time seeing that in the theaters, and as a matter of fact, it may be Tammy's first time seeing it in the theater, Phantom Menace.
Mm.
I don't remember who I saw. I saw that with my dad. Tammy might have seen it with my dad. That was the last Star Wars movie he saw. Yeah. So I'll have to tell him my story on May the 4th again. Kind of made that a tradition. I'll talk about how Star Wars is important to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only time I ever dropped tears live on camera and had to turn the camera away, which you will see that scene in the film when it comes out this summer. That is going to be included. So I heard an update on Tiana's Bayou that they will open on June 19th. I haven't heard anything. I don't know if that's quite true yet, Crystal. That's news that hits hard. So my social media would have been bumping.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I posted something today. So do you know the second largest search engine on the internet?
The second largest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to assume that Google is the first one. I think it's too easy to say something like Bing. Boy, I don't even know.
Number 2 search engine on the internet. You should know this pretty well.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's YouTube. Yeah. Number 2 search engine on the internet is YouTube. The number 1 search engine, I told somebody today, was the annual pass holder group on Facebook. Because everybody goes there to ask questions or post when things come out. So had that announcement been made, I probably would have heard of it by now.
We got some guesses like Bing, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo,
Oh
Safari.
my God.
Is Ask Jeeves still a thing?
I looked at that recently, and I think it was still up, but it goes to somewhere else.
You know what I'm just starting to go to instead of even Google sometimes? I'm starting to go to Copilot.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's going to search throughout the internet and give you the best compilation of an answer.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to go to that a little bit.
Yeah. Just imagine.
Yeah. Crew It Up thought the same thing, or said the same thing that I thought, which is right here. Let me think. Oh, a remembering day for remembering the Star Wars actors. Yes, that's a good idea too, Taylor. Well, YouTube is Google.
Yep.
So
they own number 1 and number 2.
You can Google our channel now. You can Google our channel on Google, and you get a whole listing of things now.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I tell people you should not Google yourself.
Yeah. It's funny when new people subscribe sometimes, I love to look at their search for us because I want to see where we end up in the search. So once you put living in D, there was a time where we were running like 4th, then we moved to 3rd, and I think on brand new search engines now we're number 2. We're behind Dubai. We got to take out Dubai next. Sorry, Dubai.
It's on a decline.
Nobody's watching in Dubai anyway. So if you are, comment. Please.
Yeah, please.
Let us know, and we'll send a formal apology. Nothing personal. We just want to be higher than Dubai.
Yeah.
I'll take second on that. Where does the DIZ Pod rank this week? Do you even know?
Week, as of the 26th of April, I believe we were still 8th. So we are still in the top 10, folks, of 129 Disney podcasts.
Incredible topics, incredible guests, and we're still sitting at 8. What are we doing wrong? We're not doing anything wrong. We're top 10, man. That's amazing. Brooke Ranson came into the chat on Monday night. So much fun to have her. She was so appreciative and did a very good job interacting with chat. She was a lot of fun. So she says she'll be back for May the 4th, so that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crystal, this is a good point. Crystal said she has heard that we cannot, or pretty soon they're going to make it so that you cannot share your Disney Plus passwords anymore. Really take that seriously, because companies are starting to do that, and if they will pull. I know we have YouTube TV, and they've done the same thing, or they're about to, and they will pull you from ever subscribing from them again. So you don't want to do that. So you really can't share. So, hey, if you want the media, everybody, you got to pay for yourself.
Exactly.
All right. I think we're good. You think we're good? That went fast. It always goes fast.
Always. Yeah, I am good. I'm going to probably go start packing. I'm on a plane on Friday.
You going somewhere?
I'm going to go somewhere. I think it might have been Jennifer L. or Jen W. that said that even her local baseball stadium has a Star Wars Day, and so ours does too. They also have Harry Potter nights, which is cool. But I'm going to miss that this year because I'm going to go to Hollywood Studios. So
that's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. I can get a hot dog there, right?
You
can. So yeah, everyone, if you are watching live or you're watching before Saturdays, May the 4th, look for us in the morning. Time is always subject to change based on when we get there, but I am shooting for 8:30 a.m. Eastern time to fire that stream off, and we won't hit the end button until probably 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're talking, what was the calculation? 15 hours?
15 hours. And
15
really,
hours straight.
It's 30 hours because we're going to be vertical too.
Exactly. So, I mean, whatever the official subscriber count is, almost 14.2 right now. Man, maybe we can get to 14.3 or more.
It's going to be a big day. Big day for sure.
Myers and the Mouse. Myers and the Mouse will be there too. Normally we encourage you to check them out first every Saturdays, and then jump over to us if you want to get rope drop from one park and us put the rope back up. It's a good combination to watch Myers and DIZ. And but this week they're going to be in Hollywood in the morning, and so will we. So run two devices. Watch Myers, watch us. I know they're not doing an all-day stream, so when they're done, just focus on us, and we'll have a great time with all of you. What's for breakfast, Corey? Oh, that's easy, Steve. It's Ronto Wraps. Breakfast. We have a vengeance with Ronto Wraps. We need, because we got rejected last year.
Yeah.
So we need Ronto Wraps. Dana Bauerlein is in chat. Hello, Dana. And
early birthday, Dana.
Happy early birthday, Dana, to you. And I hope she's watching on Saturdays for her birthday at some point. I don't expect her to be there the entire time because I'm sure she's got plans to celebrate, but definitely check us out and say hello for sure. So lots of fun as always. Star Wars waffles for Palm Bay. Will I take another bite of a Wookiee cookie? Maybe. I would love, it hasn't been announced, but last year they had a Darth Vader.
Oh yeah.
Chocolate. Was it chocolate peanut butter?
It might have been chocolate peanut butter.
Cupcake, and I even attempted to bring one home to Tammy, and they were sold out by the end of the day. So I really want her to have that cupcake. So Corey, you gonna build another lightsaber soon? Or won't Tammy let you? LOL. I can build one. If I want to. No, there's no plans to build a lightsaber, but something I've been thinking about for a long time is maybe taking you all for a live building of a droid. That could be something that we could do in the near future. As a matter of fact, if we weren't traveling with so many people, maybe I would arrange that for Saturdays, but we'll save that for another Saturdays where we can take you all live and experience building of a droid. We can
Sounds
do that.
good.
Corey, it was dark chocolate Darth Vader. Yes. Jen has a good memory. Great stream tonight, says Disney fan. We appreciate that. Love to stream the podcast. We do it live because we do it for you. And when we say we love you all, we mean it. So for just a couple of guys talking Disney, couple of park bros, I'm Corey.
I'm Lawrence.
And this is the DIZ Pod, everyone. We'll see you in the parks. May the 4th.
People living of any about to come out of hiding.